Okay, welcome back to another episode of the Dangerous When Focused podcast with me, your host, Sean Bryan. Today, we are joined by the very well-known, familiar guy, Luca from Rosa Madre. Luca, welcome.
Hello, guys. Look forward to talk to you, Sean.
Yeah, this is a long time coming. I've been trying to talk to you for, we know each other for more than 10 years, maybe. Would you say so?
Absolutely. Yeah, 10, 12 years, yeah. That's the time.
We, Crow Street, Temple Bar, 11 years ago. I remember going in, setting up shop and the record shop in All City. And was Rosa Madre open then? Was it the cafe or was it a different name?
I think it was still the cafe. So it used to be called Cafe Italiano.
Cafe Italiano. So
Italiano.
I even forgot that because Rosa Madre has become just this amazing success story that I wanted to chat to you. Thank you for giving us the time.
Anytime.
I really appreciate it.
Pleasure.
A lot of people mightn't know this, but the idea of the podcast is for me to obviously try and just chat to people who I find inspirational, very successful, but very humble and really good people that we're lucky to have in Dublin and in Ireland. But obviously for the very few people that mightn't know you, can you kind of tell us your story of how you came to Dublin and Ireland and how you started off in what you do?
Okay. I just try to keep it really short.
Do whatever. Yeah, we
sure?
Yeah.
It's gonna take a while.
Yeah.
Okay, look. So I came here, I think was 16 years ago. Started to work in the Westbury.
Yeah.
Mainly I worked in London and Barcelona. So I was really into, these party cities. And I like the big city life, Then I moved to Dublin because my brother was here and I found a really, really nice situation. Obviously, I found a job right away in a nice hotel, which was the Westbury Hotel. So, that was because I worked before in a 5-star hotel. So straight into the job, straight into, making progress and kind of a career in the Westbury because I was really, really focused this time, to do something good for me. And I met my wife now, but my girlfriend, obviously at the time, and we got together and then after 5 years, we decided to take a little coffee shop in the middle of Temple Bar, but also in the middle of the recession. So that was good and bad, because obviously recession started, I think that year, and that's why this girl, she left the coffee shop to me for very, very cheap. I think I had...
You seen an opportunity, maybe?
2,000-3,000 euros we paid, to be honest, but they had no seats, no toilets, it was a very strange place because you remember the ad store? They used to sell, marijuana, magic mushrooms and things like that.
Head shop, we would call it. Yeah, was that at the back?
Yeah. So at the back, but they owned the whole building, and it was split in these different shops. One of them was our shop, so...
In the middle?
In the middle, yeah.
I remember.
So, people were buying panini, coffees, and I was doing deliveries
Cannolis.
all over. Cannolis.
Yeah, I remember them.
Yum babies.
Yeah,
Yum babies. There was some little eclairs, that I would just, pop into the mouth right from the counter.
Yeah.
So that was me in the first 2-3 years of business until, I think that the second year, my wife, she got pregnant, and then when I started to feel a little bit of pressure.
Okay.
So, it was all good, even though it wasn't, because, when you start a business, you don't think about taxes, staff, permissions, accountant fees, and all this stuff. You don't really know. I never thought. I thought just, let's make 150 euros a day and, and we walk out, happy, because that was the average, that I used to get in the Westbury. But if I can make it for myself,
even better.
By making few paninis, have a laugh all day, with my friends, that's cool.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not like that, So I remember that period was very hard for me. I used to bring rubbish into my, apartment
building.
Every night, so you would see me walking with the rubbish in Temple Bar, at the end of the night, because I didn't have money to pay the rubbish service. So that was first 2 years. So I was on the edge, you know what I mean? And my father always told me, take your time, business takes time, but,
So what age were you when you opened it?
I was 26.
So I was the exact same age opening up the first cut and sew, and I didn't realize how to pay for taxes. And, I just thought, I did 10 haircuts that day. That's all my money. And you're like, no, the government wants the tax and the VAT and everything. But so did you have a business plan, or you just seen an opportunity? Not because I didn't have a business plan.
No,
I
didn't
just
have
worked hard and a bit of a dream.
I think what I had in my hands, it was great customer skills from day one. Whatever I worked in the restaurant, in hotels, they were, customer. They were always asking to be served by me. I was very popular with the customers, and that's not me saying that, but also, my wife, she always pushed. She told me, whatever you open, we're gonna make it. And that's exactly how it is. Barber shop, the same. Coffee shop is the same. It takes you 1 year, but you get there because if you have really good customer skills, one by one you get them all. And I remember for coffee shop is very tricky, because everyone in the morning they just follow the flow, and you wherever you go for coffee every day, it could be a gas station, it could be your local coffee shop, you go every single day there.
They're a creature of habits.
You know what I mean? So it's very hard to get them.
Yeah.
So I remember, on the street, say hello to everybody. How are you? Trying to be the nice guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, just
well, you are very nice guy.
Yeah, very nice guy. So, and then also, when you make your coffee, has to be top of the range. You know what I mean?
Especially if you're an Italian man.
Especially if you're Italian man and hungry of success. So it was really, really focused on quality. From day one, so everything from the coffee, I had the best gear coffee. I
remember the flavors, and I used to always get the paninis, and good friend of ours, Skelly, and then Tommy tattooing us. But I remember being in there, and people mightn't know this because they see the celebrities coming in, and this is why it's nice to go back to the origin story. Because I remember the service and the Yum Yum babies.
Yeah.
Coming in and getting a coffee and a panini, and you would see Skelly on his laptop. There'd be Tommy and Wally having a coffee and a cigarette outside. And then this place, and I remember you investing and getting Peter Doyle work there, this really amazing artist, and you commissioned him. And I think you helped people at the start, and you would look after people. And people now see this, to me, what an experience and a place and a brand. And we'll get into that later. And I'm like, you've such humble beginnings. And I think it's nice that people can listen back and go, I didn't realize that, but I've seen the journey from day one and the mini wins and, having the small space and then going on to the next phase of it. But how then, obviously with growth comes some challenges, but I don't know if a lot of people know how it went from that one place of it to taking up a bigger section to now the whole building. Am I right?
Yeah.
So how did that kind of transition in your head? Can you remember the highs and lows? Like, I'm sure it was.
Obviously, more you grow and more you need space and more you have staff complaining that they don't have the structure, that you need to do certain amount of people, so more you get popular and more you need space, but that's a good complaint, even though you get under pressure for that, but there is always a solution. You can go next door, you can go upstairs, you can go downstairs, that's a good complaint, but mainly you grow slowly, and obviously if you see people that wants your product more and more, you need to make sure that you have the structure to
facilitate that.
To facilitate that, So that's basically what it is, So after 3 years, I took a floor upstairs. We started the live music. We started a bit of DJ nights.
Okay.
If you remember that, it was with the Spritz party. I was the one.
Was it still Cafe Italiano?
It was still Cafe Italiano.
Yeah.
Because practically with the money that I got from the parties. So it was parties every month. On Wednesday, we used to do a lot of spritz, like, it could be 250. I don't remember, but crazy, and we had the DJ. And with all that period, I was saving. And I made, the first investment into Rosa Madre and changed the name and build this different restaurant
I remember as well, right? Because it's very important as well from because we both lived so close.
Yeah.
It's funny I don't see you more when we both lived in Temple Bar, but as you said, I know that myself. Emptying the bins when I was in the basement, I'd have the bin full of hair and try to squish it into the bin at the top of the street. Or when it got bigger and bigger and bigger, we had to buy the bin tags. And each time you get busier, you invest, or you get another chair, or you paint. And I love that about everyone's success story. They're like, you have to make an investment and invest in yourself. But I remember, because with Cafe Italiano goes, this is the nicest sandwich I've ever had, still to this day, or paninis. And I was like, beautiful coffee, beautiful treats. And it was made with love and passion. And it's not, that's why I love supporting local and independently. I hate when people go to big, huge chains like Costa and Starbucks, and there's nothing wrong with them, but you get you get the real sense of family and pride and passion and stuff like that. And when I seen you transition, was it a dream to have, like, what Rosa Madre? What's the meaning for anyone that doesn't know it? It means,
as you remember, Sean, the first name was Caffè Italiano, which was a very generic name, and it was made in a week because I had to give it a name to this new place.
Okay.
You know? And obviously, I wanted to get something that really shows Italian because I was kind of hidden. So Italian coffee, Caffè Italiano, you know, and I was hoping there was a queue every day, you know. But obviously, you know, it was kind of hidden.
But you had to walk into the shop.
Yeah,
it was so that's another challenge that you don't know until you do it.
Yeah. So that was the first challenge. Then the second challenge, when I got the whole place and there was actually entrance and proper like a restaurant facility, I decided to create a unique name, which you know, when they ask you, you know, I'm sure they ask you as well sometimes,
all the
what's
time.
the name of your business? You know, and you go cut and sew and you raise your head and you go like, you know, that's my name, guys. You know what I mean? And you feel comfortable with that, you know?
Yeah.
And it's the same to me when they ask me, what's your restaurant name? It's Rosa Madre. Why? Because it's the name of my mom, you know? So it's something you never fucking regret, you know? So.
Wow. And I remember as well, because the transition from, I suppose, cafe, or, you know, a coffee shop cafe to like a restaurant, because I didn't actually know until now you're training like in these beautiful cities, 5-star in the recipe. I would have thought there's something more here than just coffee and desserts. And my dad's actually a chef, so I should know better about this, but I actually don't, right? Yeah. But I was like, I didn't realize, because I remember you getting in the fish at the front, like fresh fish and ingredients, produce. And I goes, oh, wow. Something has changed here. This has gone up a notch. So when you did that, were you just keeping on investing in yourself? Like you were like, because you're passionate about it, you wanted to provide for Trish, and then obviously your first kid, were you like, I'm going to give this a go, you know, because you're a young man and you just thought, fuck it, I'm going to really go for this?
Yeah, that was the first time, you know, the first, when you open something, I think you've been through the same, you know. You can either, you know, go and go in the queue, you know. But that's what I was thinking, you know, go in the queue and open a Italian restaurant with pizza, bruschetta, and carbonara, you know.
The generic
one, you know. And there's nothing wrong, you know, if you do it right, you know, and it's really, really good. But unfortunately, I had no time to wait myself to. So I want to create something that either was unique, you know, and if it goes well, it goes right to the top, you know.
Okay.
So that was my idea. And my only idea, because I had the experience in Rome to work in this kind of places, because mainly in Rome, the fine dining, it's on fish, you know, that's when I was in the, you know, my early age. You know, I remember filleting the fish in front of a room of 40 people and all the good-looking girls, you know, looking at me, and I felt like, Jesus, I'm.
Never saw you very comfortable.
I'm 16 years old and I'm doing something really, really cool, you know.
Yeah.
So I couldn't wait to actually go and fillet the fish in front of someone, you know, because you never know what's going to happen next, you know.
Yeah.
But that was the idea behind Rosa Madre, you know, and also, you know, I seen more Irish people going to the Amalfi Coast every year, going to Sardinia at the time because the Ryanair started the cheap flights, and so, you know, it was starting to get popular, this other phase of Italian cuisine, which is mainly on the fish and fresh and, you know, simple, you know, but classy. So, I went into that, as you say, fish display, lobsters.
The lemons. I love the story for Luca as well, when it's so humble and it's beautiful because it's organic. And like I would love, a part of the success must be you and your family base, even the name and like the. But I remember talking to people, chefs and friends of ours. Shane from Bambino, he was like, you know what, he is using the best of the best. And when you would share on your story, which I think is genius, that the lads would come in and they would come in from Hout and the fresh fish and the fresh oysters and the best of the best. And I was like, you can do it cheap, but it won't be as good. And I never seen you cut corners. And I was like, look at this is the freshest. And then I started to see the champagne and wines coming in, and I'm like, I could see you get more, like your eyes lighting up and more excited the more you were doing this. And it's, I love watching like Gordon Ramsay and like Kitchen Nightmare, and they all try to cut corners and they try to make ends meet, but you were just like fully invested in using the best of the best ingredients. Is that just comes in that's just your DNA from all these amazing places you've worked in?
Well, maybe yes. I seen that working on that kind of world, that kind of business, that kind of how you say target of it's a little bit easier, in terms of staff, in terms of how you get treated. Like you would never want to work on the outside the city center in Rome. Why?
Yeah, it's a
because they're gonna like that. Come here. So, Sean, if you are smart, you want to choose yourself a work that you can actually enjoy to stay there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In your workplace. Like I like to go to my restaurant and talk with my guests. Have some nice atmosphere in the restaurant.
Great, yeah. It's magic. So, everyone I know goes, and it's a big part of success. Oh yeah, is the experience. And like, so do you think as well, I think in cutting hair, everyone can do haircuts, but when I talk and create an atmosphere, it's kind of like magic. Do you think, like, even with Rosa Madre, when you have your team, you encourage everyone? Do you have to kind of say, look, this is what I want, this is the envision of the company, and the whole message is about professional customer service, best produce, and also amazing experience? Do you have to, when you're finding staff and stuff, do you have to say, God, they kind of know, but some people, they don't care. Like staff, sometimes they don't care, but how important is...
Allora, for me, I have been the same manager, same assistant manager since now 6 years. They became like a family. Just yesterday, the girl, she told me, I booked a flight for you to Brazil and booked everything. That's our relation. She is part of the family.
I know her from the story, and they seem very happy.
And to the point that on the floor, I decided just to let her do, because otherwise it would, sometimes we fight, because it's normal. I have my crazy way sometimes, I'm too much, like if I see a friend, I go there and hug him and, but I waste time,
Yeah.
And during the service, you try to run a restaurant with the timing and smooth and everything. Then Luca comes and,
You haven't seen somebody in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So I'm in the kitchen at the moment. She does the floor, but they completely know what is my passion, what is the passion of the restaurant, what you need to know about Rosa Madre. Rosa Madre is a familiar place. The atmosphere is warm. I just always try to don't be too, too fussy, too posh. You know what I mean? To let the people enjoy, because at the end of the day, restaurants, wine bar, there are places where the people want to go to enjoy themselves. I don't like restaurant too stiff, where you have to be like that.
You loosen it up.
So, I like warm places, and that's the main thing. But without going less quality. In my place, you can order amazing wine. You can order fair price wine.
Yep.
You can order a bowl of pasta with tomato sauce, which is top, by the way.
Yeah.
But it's,
You actually said
simple.
this. You said this to me when I remember meeting you on the street. It might have been around lockdown time. And you were like, Sean, brother, it was Paddy's Day a few years ago, and I was going to DJ, and you were like, brother, come in, I'll make you whatever you want. And I had a misconception. I goes, I know, I was single at the time, and I was saying, when I meet the right lady, I'm going to Rosa Madre, because I was thinking, I'm going to have some oysters, some champagne, the whole lot. And you were like, this. People don't know this story, but you were like, Sean, I'll make you whatever you want. Do you remember saying that to me or not? And I was like, I just felt, because at the time I was in a bad place, so I used to party loads, Luca. I don't know if you know, and I just didn't have the head for beautiful restaurants, and I was just in the pub and in the nightclubs and partying. I never had the head.
Sounds good, Sean.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Let's go.
Let's go now. But I remember just going like, God, that's such a nice person. I was like, now that I'm in the position to do a podcast, I want to just, like any of them, you want to talk to people and get to know them a bit better. This is a great chance to sit down and just remember little bits, but to ask questions that people don't know. When you are in the restaurant, so how do you split? Because I see sometimes you're on the floor, but then I also see sometimes you're in the kitchen for hours.
Yeah.
Do you have a set schedule? Because people, I don't know if they know that, you probably work way more than people see, like any business owner.
Yeah. Look, I have my busy weeks, and then I have some weeks I don't show up at all. You know what I mean?
You could do that.
It really depends on the roster. This week now, obviously in the summer there is holidays, and holidays means someone needs to cover them. So
you gotta get in and get dirty.
But I like to be on the floor and sell wines and talk with people about wines, or seeing nice atmosphere in the restaurant. I really enjoy. Also, I like to be the dirty job in the kitchen, where it's really, really busy.
Back to your roots. And
yesterday, for example, we did 170 people, 175 people, and I was on the pasta section, and I think they ordered 115 pasta. So I went home and I had my eyes red like this, so it's tough. But also you show the stuff, that you need to be.
You're able to do it as well.
No? It's sense of community in the restaurant. Like if you show that you work hard, and you have no problem, because sometimes they complain it's too warm in the kitchen, because I think yesterday was 50 degrees in the kitchen. It was mad. But you show you can take, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everybody feels better. Everybody start to smile, you know what I mean? And that's the team, and that's how you work. That's what I like to build. There is no kitchen porter. I can jump and wash few plates, and the guy says, Luca, come on, you don't do. But he wouldn't do it if I wasn't there myself.
Yeah.
So there is a sense of community if you show to them that you have no problem to do it, and was one of my always point in the business.
So I must ask, right? Because is there something that's to give some yin and yang to the conversation? Because people might say, it's always busy, it's really packed, it's success. And then what is something that people might know? Is there any struggles with Rosa Madre where you were like, fuck, this is really a struggle or a concern? Like, has there been one moment so far that you're like, was COVID in this time? Or is there one time when you were like, hang on there, I can lose a lot of here, I have to let people go? Is there some stories that comes to mind that you might be like, I actually don't know how we got through that?
Yeah.
Or like a bit of a tough story that, it's a success story, but you have to have bad days
absolutely.
as well.
Yeah, there will be. There've been really, really tough time, and there will be still tough times, because businesses like this is up and down, and the minute you think you are, you start to spend the money and you start to buy cars and wines and everything, then when you start to lose control, so you have to be always, you have to always try to don't go over too much certain things, but obviously COVID was a very tough time. I was nearly crying every day and saying I'm gonna lose it every day.
How long was it open, like until COVID hit?
I was think 5 years, 5 years, 6 years, because then was 2 years COVID. No, maybe 6 years. But anyway,
But you were doing takeaways. I remember this. I seen Luca in the Maserati.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, Luke, I seen you a few times, and you were like, you and Trish maybe were delivering. Like, I love it. Just like keep going, out on the road, like amazing.
Yeah, what can you do? Even though we didn't really enjoy that period, because for us to make food and deliver it like that,
the idea.
It was not good margins. The staff, was working, but nobody liked it that
No.
period. It was just crazy times, But yeah,
You got
good
through
for
it.
the head. Good for the head, because I spent the first 2 months at home, and after a while you need something to do,
Yeah.
and so we got into that business, takeaway, then the pasta. My wife, she took over a factory, and we started to produce pasta as well.
How many places is the pasta in now? Do you know? Like, is it doing well?
No, we stopped doing it last year.
Okay.
So it was too much, for us to. My wife, she was going every morning at 6 o'clock, come back at 7. I was struggling with the kids, and at one stage we were doing 1,200 kilos of pasta, but the margins were very small. Don't get me, don't.
Luca Montana.
Yeah. Sounds like, but I would prefer to get something else at that stage, So.
And you kind of know this is why it's good to have a chat and be like, no, we try it. Sometimes it doesn't work. There's more important things. The kids, Trish, you being able to rest.
Yeah.
And have a...
Exactly. That period teach me a lot, because I hear a lot of people that wants to do this, that, but everything, I decided, for the time being, then I might change my mind, because I always change my mind at the end, but for now I like to just focus on one thing, which is my restaurant, which has always been my my thing. That's all I know is to work in the restaurant, and my wife too. So we focus all the energy into that, and we had the best year in business this year. So eventually,
I love that.
it's working.
So it's kind of like, instead of focus on loads of little things and side things, sometimes I'm like, everyone's, why don't you do a coffee shop in the shop, or why don't you could do another thing, and I'm like, hang in there, what are we really good at? Cutting hair in cool places with really cool barbers. That's what they do. All the other stuff, we can sell products, but I don't want to have like the new Brill cream. We have our own product. It sells a little bit, but we're selling cuts, really cool locations, the amount of people we look after. When you see a cut and sew, you're going to know, I know Sean, he's a good guy, I think, and that's a brand I like. The same way with Rosa Madre. Would you want to do another place? I think it's very special where you have, but another concept, because I obviously understand from your stories. I've heard when you open a restaurant, you don't make much margin on the food, but the alcohol you can. But I see that you guys really care about the wine and champagne, whether it's an entry level price, or if it's really special or beautiful. How important is that in business to, that must be a big part of the business.
Yeah, margins are very important. Don't get me wrong. You're right, Sean. For the last 3-4 years, we worked pretty much a lot with wines, and we sold amazing wines, wines. But I think the last year I've been focusing again on the food, because obviously what drives people into the restaurant is the food, then drinks. Secondary, and eventually drinks, you need to have it always a massive amount of stock in order to attract people, that they know that you have an amazing wine cellar with amazing vintages.
I like the wine.
So it takes lots of investment, There are lots of money invested in there, and you need to keep it up all the time. When with food, it's a little bit easier, and you go straight to the heart of the people. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because food, everybody will enjoy a bowl of some nice pasta or
the classics.
The classics, and that's where you feel really satisfied, as a chef, but also as a customer, because it's available for everybody, So
can I ask you a question that it just came to my mind, and Sam might clip this. If you were on death row, what would be your last meal, and what wine would you have, or champagne or beer? What would you have? Don't say a toasty. What would be your kind of
Oh my God, I have so many options. I have so many options.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
Okay, I put it like that. You see, I used to be into caviar, now a little bit less. So the starter, but the starter would be actually, maybe something with crab. I love crab. Crab on toast, nice and light. And Then I would love maybe a nice steak, you know.
Okay.
But on the side, I would put my favorite pasta, just on the side.
On the side,
A
okay,
little
that's
bit
a
of
funny
carbs,
side.
a little bit of carbs.
Yeah.
You know, it would be pasta, pomodoro, e basilico. You know, so it's spaghetti with tomato and basil, which for me, you know, it's Italy on the plate. You know, I will always remember wherever you go in the world, you find a can of tomatoes or fresh tomatoes if they're not in season, fresh basil, and you buy a packet of spaghetti. And I start to cook, you start to smell, my kids start to smell that. They feel home, even if
Wow.
I'm in Australia, if I'm in America, you know. And that's for me, you know, my favorite dish, which makes me warm, you know.
Okay.
So I would have it on the side because I love steaks as well.
That's kind of cheating, but we'll allow
The
it.
cheat,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah, and then I will
Dessert.
have some nice dessert. I love the chocolate fondant. Oh my god!
Yeah,
I
it's
love
a
that,
yeah,
you know.
that's a pretty good one. And what
Yeah.
would you pair it with then if you had to have a drink? It doesn't have to be
Ah,
alcohol, but if you're going down on death row, you want to have a nice sherry.
Let's do it. Let's
Let's
do it.
do
you
it one last time.
Yeah, my two favorite wines, which you know,
We're gonna click this because Luca's two favorite wines. These are gonna sell loads
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
Luca.
yeah. Well, I pick higher. So,
Okay.
you know, it would be Brunello di Montalcino, or actually Sangiovese is called Le Pergole Torte. You know, so in the area of Chianti, but it's a very special wine with a special label, a very, very unique project, which is very, very hard to get. So Le Pergole Torte is called, if you want
Okay.
to.
What color is it?
Sangiovese.
Sorry, I feel bad.
Red,
of course.
It's amazing.
With steak,
It's
yes.
amazing. With steaks. Or, you know, we go to France and we go for some nice Chambol Musigny, Domaine Roumier, you know, nice and easy without going to Grand Cruise, you know,
Yeah.
but just that, just nice, you know.
Amazing. Yeah, for me, I'm like, I don't know yet, but I'm a meat and two veg kind of guy. But no, I don't know. I don't know. I do like lasagna and I love steak and shit, but I'm kind of a man of convenience. It's my dad is a chef. He worked in the army for 40 something years. He worked sometimes outside of the kitchen, but like not in anywhere like 4 or 5 star, just normal places. But he loved the hustle. He used to work in the army from like 6 a.m. and then up to the lunches, and then would do evening shifts in outside restaurants. And he did it. And one thing he taught me was work ethic. And it's something that I try to ask for every guest on the podcast. Do you feel the same excitement as you did 10 years ago or not really? I feel the same kind of excitement. It's just different things I get excited about. You know, when I remember you bought the chandeliers, I remember like, whoa, you were getting so excited when you bought the soldier ornament things, you know, the red stuff. Like, cause it's like me when I'm like, I got this mural painted, or we're getting the counters redone, and I'm like, this is very cool. This is so exciting. What kind of still like kind of get to you? You know what going? Is it Friday night in the restaurant, or is it like Monday morning ordering the fresh produce?
Yeah. But you need some. You said right. You know, it could be Tuesday when the fresh batch of produce arrive.
Yeah.
We are strange people. Sean.
Yeah, you're
We
like,
get
oh, here's
excited for these things, you know. But you know, but lately I was surprised because you know, obviously my wife Trish, she started to work with me in the kitchen every day since 2 years. You know?
Really good or tough?
The funny thing, no, it's great. It's great.
Yeah.
She's always been. We
She
always
seems
work
like
together,
Yeah.
so no problem. You know, we fight, but you know, in a
Professional
nice way,
manner,
in a
nice
nice
way.
way. You know. So, but the funny thing is, you know, I used to be myself. That you know, it's 7 o'clock in the morning, and my eyes, boom, open, wide open. I want to go to work because I'm waiting for a delivery. I'm waiting for something important, or there is some guy that they need to build a new thing or something. So I get excited by that, you know. And now is her waking me up at 6 o'clock, and she started. I need to go. I want to make a ragu. You know. So you know, I feel the same passion. You know, it gets you. You know, when you like to do something, you know, and you really want to make it the best way. You have no time, you know, you can work extra hours and things. This has been for me, and now to see my wife doing the same, it's great, you know, and really.
What are your two kids'
Special.
names again?
So the first one was
Rocco, yeah.
and the second one Massimo. So
okay.
after Rocky, I
Yeah.
can tell you this.
Yeah.
Rocky, because there is, I think this is the manager, Mick, used to call him Rocco. you
Yeah.
know? So, yeah, Rocco, yeah.
Yeah.
So me and my wife, the best movie that we always watch.
It's beautiful. The
you
first
know,
one or all of them?
all of them.
Yeah.
But we start with the first. Trish is completely in love with Sylvester Stallone, And
He's got, when he comes to Dublin, you know he's gonna come.
I know. I know
Like,
some
that
people.
can
I say,
happen.
oh yeah, I know.
What
I
a
know.
dream.
But okay, now it's a little bit.
No, now it's a reality.
I think it's 85 or something. I asked last time. Yes,
He sold. You see, he sold all his watches.
Really?
Because he's a very big watch.
I saw.
But he said a beautiful story. He said he doesn't get the watches to not to tell the time. Obviously, it doesn't mean that it's a Rolex and it's cost this much. It said it's about the milestone or what he did to get that. So he earns one. He goes, you know what? I got this watch because I did Rocky 1. And then I did the Expendables, so he got a Royal Oak or whatever the watch is. I'm still only new to it. But I love that, and he goes, it's time for me to pass them on. He had some watches he never wore. He just collected them.
I'm sure his son is delighted with the choice.
Yeah, I think he just has. I think he just has daughters. I think. But,
okay.
it doesn't matter.
I would be so upset.
But his collection, his watches, I was like, wow. And I remember it's something that he said. I think Sylvester Stallone, his documentary on Netflix is brilliant. I love the movies, but it's very much a reality, because when I see some of the people that have come to your door, superstars, movie stars like Jamie Foxx, Will Ferrell, Dave Grohl. I wonder, do people text you ahead of time when these guys are coming in, or they just know that it's really good? You don't have to tell us if it's private.
No, I tell
it's
them.
like they're superstars,
It's no problem. Sometimes happen
it's
very
random.
fast.
Yeah.
Sometimes happen fast. Sometimes some people that tells me, okay, I'm gonna bring you this guy, and might not happen the same month.
Okay.
Then after 1 year they show up. Celebrities sometimes are particular. They keep canceling. So it's all last minute. Until you don't see them in front of you.
Don't believe it.
Like I was working in the Westbury, and every night they used to do a joke for me. Because because I was in love with Rihanna.
Okay.
So they knew it, and she meant to come so many times, but she never came, Rihanna. I'm still waiting for her. But I remember, lots of celebrities also in the Westbury Hotel. I remember the Black Eyed Peas, Fergie. I'll never forget Sean. I was in the bar, I was like this. I said, Fergie, what would you like to drink? She couldn't even speak, She just did like this to me on the hand. And she said, glass of Pinot Grigio. Turn around, just grab the bottle of Pinot Grigio into the ice. I said, that's all for you,
So wait, so you didn't meet Rihanna?
Rihanna, no.
I was just back from Barbados.
No. Once, listen to this.
Okay.
Listen to this, Sean. This was the craziest day of my life, And I tell you, this story is real.
Okay, I believe you.
Yeah, this is real. Okay, so I was working in the coffee shop, yes, which was very, average place, but connected to the coffee shop where I was going to the loo, the toilet. It was a recording studio, which at the time was active. Now I think there is a museum there, rock and roll. But at the time it was a recording studio where daily they were coming to take coffee, the script, So there were people recording
Republic
there.
of Loose. I know, yeah.
So there were two producers there. I still remember the name, Mick and the other fella. I don't remember the name. But anyway, lovely guys, yes? Sean, I opened the door of the studio, and guess who was at the back of the door? Rihanna, with the boots until here, and Jesus, I nearly passed out, guys.
What?
And she was with the producer, and they went upstairs to record which song?
Umbrella.
Love the Way You Lie.
Oh,
Love the Way You Lie was recorded live. Rihanna here in Temple Bar and Eminem in Los Angeles. I swear to God.
Oh my God.
Swear to God.
So,
and that
wow.
was it. Man, I couldn't even remember. I was so excited. I just see the boots like that. I was like, what? Jesus Christ, I must be dreaming.
Does Rosa Madre have a basement also of there? No, is it?
There is, but it's on the recording studio side. But that was an amazing place. They had some mixer and things. Because then I asked, I said, why Rihanna would come to Dublin to record this kind of songs? But they explained me, the producer, that they had some kind of mixer and acoustic there that was really unique.
Well, yeah.
So at
and
the time,
it's a hit record and stuff like that. That's amazing.
Yeah, now I don't know the music world, but at the time, Ireland, my landlord, he had a castle where, Michael Jackson was hiding, from the paparazzi for 2 months. And also,
sure.
it was
Black Eyed Peas was there to record. That's
going to get away. Yeah, but also the acoustic. They say there they can hold a full orchestra inside that place. So it was something special. In there.
Is there anybody so apart from Sylvester Stallone, who would be somebody that you would dream of cooking for, like alive or dead? Who do you think somebody? But you know what? I'm in the kitchen and I want to make you the best meal I can do.
Good question.
We can come back to it if you want, but I just think, being no good.
I'm only thinking about girls.
I know. Sophia Loren or something. I'd be afraid if it was somebody I love and they were really rude. It's like I would love to cut David Beckham's hair and I think I would do a really good job. But I feel like I'd probably end up doing one of his kids' hair, but never say never. Like,
yeah, I know chefs, they can be easy, you know what I mean? Because when
They
you
understand.
do that job all day, every day is business, when you see all these plates with the little bit of flour here and that's business, they actually do that not because they enjoy that food, it's just to show that they are super skillful, and when they go out and eat, they probably go and eat normal food, like all of us, so I'm one of the guys that cooks normal food, in my opinion, then I try always to be a little bit more refined, but I like normal food.
my dad being a chef because I'm not that good in our apartment, like there's one hob still working and the oven and the air fryer, so I tried to cook it, but my dad comes over, the difference, attention to detail, even the temperature of the plate. Like I don't leave the plates in the bottom of the oven or whatever. And he goes, hot food has to be served in a hot plate. But the attention to detail, he becomes alive when he's even cooking for me, the audience of one. But when he goes out, he actually doesn't, he prefers to cook his own food.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. And I'm like, I get that, because if you're there when it can be disappointing, but I think you're very humble. I'm sure you still go and have a takeaway and all the normal stuff. But with the kids now, do you think as well, would you like them? Because I've seen them coming in and helping out in the restaurant and stuff like that. Would you like them to be a part of the business? Or, yeah, of course, would you treat them the same or a bit harder on them?
I think, wait and see, you need to, as you know, Sean, you need to do something that you like, and by doing that, you will be successful.
Okay.
If your dad tells you, you have to do that, or you get into because I have nothing else to do, it's not good. And I know the business, they want to run my restaurant as it should be. So if I see them, for example, they tell me, I want to go to work in Italy and see, the authentic Italian restaurants, and how I did myself, and they fell in love for that, and they want to keep going in my restaurant. Fair enough, I'll be happy to see them, working for me and working for Rosa Madre. If not, just, when it's finished, it's finished,
It's so how many years has Rosa Madre been open? Like what's the...
Now I think it's 11 years.
11. So, so Cafe Italiano transition into Rosa Madre. So, okay, so the story, isn't it amazing to think when you see businesses that say 75 years in business and you never think of the start of these businesses. The same with Cut and Sew. It's 11 years. And I'm like, when I walk past a business and I see that, I'm like, it's hard work, a lot of stress, a lot of pain, a lot of bills. We're paying a lot of pain, but like, what do you think is kind of next for Rosa Madre? Do you think, just take it year by year? This is the best year you've had. Yeah. Same for us. And I think we deserve to have good years because we have lots of bad years and we've very slow beginnings in business where some weeks you're happy to make €150. I was happy to do 4 haircuts and just to get like 60 quid at the start. And now people see it and they think it's overnight success. And I'm like, it's not. You know, you did the work in all these other countries and worked hard in the Westbury, and then you went and you didn't. Well, I would say, I don't want to say you struggled, but probably you did. Like us, you're doing everything. You're doing the cash, you're doing the cleaning, you're doing the cooking, you're doing the walking, the deliveries, the cleaning the bins. You paint when the place needs to be painted. Do you have a kind of a plan for the next few years for the restaurant, or no? Your own wine, maybe your own champagne. I don't know. You know?
God knows. Obviously, Sean, when you have this kind of positivity, you know, because it's times, because the year was really good. God knows what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? So until you just head down and work, you know, and make sure, you know, staff are paid and everything is running smooth and everything. And then when you see opportunities, you know, but I don't like to run into opportunities. You know what I mean? I like to be comfortable with what I have, and then if I have time and really trigger me, you know, something new, I might do it. Otherwise, I keep, you know, improving every single aspect of the business, you know, and this makes me happy anyway. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I like to spend my time with the kids as well, you know, which is something
so important. I would say
everybody will tell you this, you know, but I didn't in the first 6 years. I was never with them, you know, and now, you know, maybe it's the age, you know, 12 and 10 is a great age, you know. I can talk to them and stay with them and have fun. Actually,
are they rubbing like your aftershave and stuff like that?
They start, now it started the puberty.
Or the clothes. Oh yeah, they'll be going to the discos and robbing all your nice clothes.
Yeah, it would be nice. So, you know, a bit of time with them and teaching the right things. The way
life. Of the world.
Try to teach the right things, you know, because it's full of people tells you, you know, strange things, you know, like success and this and bliss and blah, blah, blah. I think everything comes with hard work, you know, nothing comes...
and sacrifice sounds to be something when we talk to business owners. People don't, I don't know. They don't really see. If I say to somebody, would you like a barbershop? Like, yeah, I want a barbershop. But they don't want to put in, not even 6 months. They don't want to put in 1 year or 2 years. They're like, I don't have time for that. And I'm like, that's what it takes. It takes sometimes years to really get into owning a business and an investment, whether it's time, which me and you both have done. I didn't go to any weddings. I worked 6 days a week for years because you had to pay the bills. And now that it's 11 years in, I do try to enjoy myself and like have a big holiday every year and treat myself. I got myself a really nice watch after 10 years in business, and it's, you know, it's to commemorate the hard work. Now I'm learning to drive like at 37. So I'm not going to get a G-Wagon or anything. I might get a little Polo.
Never know. Can see you with that.
Yeah. But if you do see me in a G-Wagon, you know, it's probably through the company. That will be for 20 years. So you don't really know what's next. You're going to take a chill and until...
Yeah.
You're focusing on the business. Really, really tunnel vision.
I nearly ticked all my thing that, you know, I was looking forward to, you know. Cars, I seen, you know, cars, nice cars, you know, watches. So, you know, I just enjoy life for what it is. I'm a little bit more grateful in every single aspect. You know, I like to be healthy. You know, I do training a lot at the moment.
Yeah,
so
I can see that.
That's an investment as well, you know, because I have personal gyms, you know, so that's weekly fees is a lot, you know, but you know, when you look at yourself in the mirror and you perform, I can stay like yesterday. I stayed 14 hours in the kitchen, in the kitchen standing, and no problem. Before, when I was under 3, under 6, I would say, guys, no way I'm gonna succeed in doing that. So
What
if
weight
you
are you now? Do you know? You're just because 103.
Of course,
106
I
kilos.
know. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
What are you
80,
now?
86 today.
So I need to lose some weight because you're taller than me, but
yeah, but we thought about that.
yeah, it's up and down. It's up and
yeah. So there are some
you've
periods,
kids,
So
yeah, I think a good friend of mine, Macer, you know Macer?
Yes,
artist.
of
Yeah, me
course.
and you both. He's going to be a guest on the podcast, I hope, this year. He said he would do it, and I love it, and I love buying his art. And I'm going to buy one of his paintings when I make the big money. I buy the prints now. But he was saying about looking after his health. I never thought about this. He goes, because he's become a dad, he goes, I actually want to lengthen my life. I never even thought of this. I goes, if you live the way you live, and you're the weight you are, and you have a fatty liver, or you this amount of thing, this is when you're going to come into trouble in life. He met a doctor, so now he lost a lot of weight, he doesn't really drink alcohol, and eats healthy, and it increases your lifetime length because he's a kid. And he goes, when I'm 65, my kid might only be 30, but I want to be around till I'm 85 at least. So he's making lifestyle choices, and I never thought about that because I'm not a parent, but when hopefully I become a parent, I'll then think, oh wow, I can increase my life span by maybe not eating so many toasties and not drinking so many pints of Guinness. But that's a really good way to think of it. So like you want to be healthy for your family, your future self, and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because also, in the morning, it's like this morning, go to training football with the kids. It's a nice day.
You look very good, Luca. You look really, really healthy. Like I remember, because again, when you follow Luca, he's very, very infectious. And Rosa Madre, it's just I don't know, it's very infectious what you do. But so I ask every guest pretty much at the end of the episode, what dangerous when focused means, or does it mean anything to you? It can be like what makes you motivated, or a tagline that's inspirational to you. I'm going to tell you mine in case you haven't got an idea. Mine is when I focus on something and I like laser beam in on it, I get super motivated, and I get dangerous to the point of like, I feel like invincible. I feel like you could shoot me with a bullet and it wouldn't pierce my skin. Do you have... Well, what does dangerous men focus mean anything to you, or do you have a tagline that you stick with, like a motto? What's like Luca's motto? Or
no, I think you choose a great name. Actually, goosebumps when you say that, because it's just the way you described. It's when you really want to do something, you just with your eyes, you just stick to the point, and anybody cannot distract you from you there, and if they do, they will be
in trouble.
removed straight away, because you just see your target and your goal, and you will achieve. You know what I mean? And that's how it should be. And I always say to myself, just point to the top, but really, really high, and just the top, the farthest point, So at least if you don't get there,
you'll aim really high.
You get really, really high, and I think that's what it is. You know what I mean? Have a dream, but the biggest dream, and try to catch that. But if you don't, you're gonna be still very, very high. So that would be myself. Yeah,
I love that. I think as well, to wrap up, I think you're very infectious. It's like, if you haven't been to Rosa Madre, I think it's an amazing place. What I'm after understanding from this is, it's I think people might see, oh my God, it's very exclusive, but you're just saying it's family made. Everyone's very welcome. You said you want a kind of a light, warm atmosphere. It's very homely. If it's pasta with some very basic dishes, that's also available. But you can have like the top tier. Luca loves crab, I think you said, and steak. You can get everything. Okay, thank you so much for coming on. I think this has been a really good chat. Myself and Sam are getting hungry now. but we can finally, we can't wait to go in. Obviously, we'll tag everyone so they can follow you. Luca, thank you so much.
Thank you,
guys. It was an absolute pleasure.
Pleasure, Sean. Thank you, Sam.
I really appreciate it.